cloudy day.
Let's talk about the assassination. Qasem Soleimani was seen as the second most powerful man in Iran. He was killed in Iraq when the Americans blew up his convoy using a drone.
This is the equivalent of the Iranians assassinating the U.S.
Ingat na lang
Secretary
tayo mga
of
kababayan.
Defense.
Iran is promising revenge.
Dasal na rin tayo.
استراتژیک کردن
sana wag naman mangyari yung ganun.
روزهای سخت‌تری پیش روی اونها خواهد بود.
Lalo mga
So who was
kababayan na
Major
dito
General
sa Middle
Qasem
East.
Soleimani? Why is there talk of a possible war between Iran and the US?
Pagdasal na
And
lang
was the
natin na
attack
wag naman
even
umabot sa ganung pangyayari. Walang mangyari sa ating masama dito.
I'm Sandra Gatman. Welcome to a special episode of Start Here. You only have to look at the size of Qasem Soleimani's funeral to appreciate just how important he was to people in Iran. Soleimani was the leader of Iran's powerful Quds Force. It's the paramilitary wing of the Revolutionary Guard Corps, and it's active mostly outside of Iran. The U.S. considers the force a terrorist organization.
Now, what Iran has sought to do is create some form of influence in the region. Now, they've managed to do that in Yemen, in Lebanon, in Iraq, and in Syria. And Al-Quds Force has been credited with establishing that. He was credited with fighting off ISIS and protecting Iran's borders. It was felt that if he had not made that intervention, then ISIS would have taken over large swathes of Iraq.
The administrations of George W. Bush and Barack Obama both considered assassinating Soleimani. Both rejected the option as too risky. Trump, though, pulled the trigger. Last Friday, Soleimani landed in Iraq at Baghdad airport. He was with an Iraqi paramilitary commander named Abu Mahdi al-Muhandis and other Iraqi officials. Circling somewhere high above them was a Reaper, a U.S. military remote-controlled killer drone. It's unlikely they would have seen or heard it. To give you an idea of what these men were facing, here's video of a drone missile being tested. And here's some amateur footage from Baghdad that reportedly shows the actual missile strike on the convoy. They probably died instantly.
Trump did not inform Congress about these plans to kill Soleimani in advance. It's very common for the Pentagon to present multiple military options to presidents in times of crisis. The Pentagon did not think, allegedly, that Trump was going to select that option, but that is exactly what he did.
So why strike now? The Trump administration says there was an imminent threat. It's the only time an American president is allowed to order a military strike on another country without congressional approval.
We took action last night to stop a war. We did not take action to start a war.
Under U.S. law, Trump had 48 hours to explain himself to Congress in writing, and he did in a classified letter. But House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says it raises more questions than answers.
Democrats basically saying, what is the evidence that you have? What is that intelligence? And so far, the Trump administration is not wanting to release that publicly.
The assassination of Qasem Soleimani didn't just come out of nowhere. The U.S. and Iran have been at each other for a while now, starting with Trump's decision in 2018 to pull out of the Iran nuclear deal. That led to the reimposition of U.S. sanctions designed to cripple Iran's economy, and Iran retaliated by resuming uranium enrichment. And ever since then, there's been trouble in the Gulf region. Iran was blamed for attacks on oil tankers. The Revolutionary Guard shot down a U.S. surveillance drone. Then, a Saudi oil refinery, the world's biggest, was hit by a drone strike. Houthi rebels in Yemen said they did it, but the U.S. blames Iran. At the end of December, the Americans bombed targets in Iraq and Syria, killing 25 militia fighters linked to Iran. That led to people storming the U.S.
Palagay
embassy
niyo ba,
in
mga
Baghdad,
kababayan, tama
and
ba ang
now the
ginawa ng
Soleimani
US?
assassination.
Dapat
The fallout
lang
from
bang
the
gawin ng
assassination
US yun?
has been immediate.
The US is urging Americans to leave Iraq immediately and is sending
Palagay
extra
niyo, mga
troops
kababayan.
to the region in case of reprisal attacks.
أنه من مصلحة العراق والولايات المتحدة في ظل هذه الظروف إنهاء هذا التواجد.
Iran announcing it has no
Pero
limits to
tindi
its
ni
nuclear
Soleimani,
activities.
parang
Now,
hero
ever
pala
since
to
the
sa Iran.
attack, there's been speculation that Soleimani's
Bayani,
death
parang
could lead
bayani
to
nila.
war between the U.S. and Iran. But most observers don't expect Iran will take that chance.
You know, the Iranian side is very clear that their conventional military power is dwarfed by that of the US, Israel, and other regional allies of the
kababayan
US
kong
in the
OFW
region.
dito sa
But
Middle East,
Iran has
pray
proven
na lang
itself to be
natin
incredibly
na wag naman
sophisticated
sana tumindi o lumala.
asymmetric warfare,
And sana walang mangyari sa
cyber
atin masama
attacks.
dito.
Right after Soleimani was
And
killed,
maging handa
Americans
na
were
lang din
talking
tayo,
about
mga kababayan.
de-escalating the situation. Then Trump tweeted, basically warning Iran to forget about retaliating, because if they did, he's already chosen 52 targets, one for each American held during the Iran hostage crisis in 1979.
There's a part of Iranian society that does not look up to Qasem Soleimani, but does not like the religious establishment. What Donald Trump has managed to do with the killing of Qasem Soleimani has managed to unite many parts of the country and political factions.
President Donald Trump has also been accused of ordering the assassination to distract the American public from his impeachment proceedings.
Powerful
That was
pala
bound
ni
to happen.
Soleimani, no?
But whatever the motivation, Donald Trump's decision to kill Soleimani has people around the world feeling a little less safe.